In the meantime, Bluebeard held a cutlass in his hand and called out to his wife with all his might, "Come down quickly, or I'll come up there."
"Please, 1 minute more," replied his wife, who immediately repeated in a low voice, "Anne, Sister Anne, do you see anything coming?"
And Sister Anne replied, "I see nothing but the sun making dust and the grass growing green."
"Come down quickly," roared Bluebeard, "or I shall come up there."
"I'm coming," answered his wife, and then she called, "Anne, Sister Anne, do you see anything coming?"
"I see," said Sister Anne, "a great cloud of dust moving this way."
"Is it my brothers?"
"Alas, no, sister, I see a flock of sheep."
"Do you refuse to come down?" shouted Bluebeard.
1 minute more," his wife replied, and then she cried, "Anne, Sister Anne, do you see anything coming?"
"I see 2 horsemen coming this way," she responded, "but they're still at a great distance." After a moment afterward, she exclaimed, "Heaven be praised, they're my brothers. I'm signaling to them as best as I can to hurry up."
Bluebeard began to roar so loudly that the whole house shook. So his poor wife descended to him and threw herself at his feet, all disheveled in tears.
"It's no use," said Bluebeard. "You must die."
Then he seized her by the hair with one hand and raised his cutlass with the other. He was about to cut off her head when the poor woman turned to him, and fixing her dying gaze upon him, she implored him to allow her one short moment to collect herself.
"No, no," he said. "Commend yourself as best you can before you go to heaven."
And lifting his arms, at this moment there was such a loud knocking at the gate that Bluebeard stopped short. The gate was opened, and 2 horsemen were seen entering right away. With drawn swords they ran right at Bluebeard, who recognized that they were brothers of his wife, one a dragon, the other a musketeer. Consequently, he fled immediately and hoped to escape, but they pursued him so quickly that they overtook him before he could reach the step of the door, where they passed their swords through his body and left him dead on the spot. The poor woman was nearly dead as her husband, and did not have the strength to rise and embrace her brothers.
It was found that Bluebeard had no heirs, so his widow inherited all his wealth. She employed part of it to arrange a marriage between her sister Anne and a young gentleman who had loved her for a long time. Another part became the captain's commissions for her 2 brothers. The rest she used for her marriage to a very worthy man who made her forget the miserable time she spent with Bluebeard.
Moral: curiosity, in spite of its appeal, may often cost a rind of steel. 1,000 new cases arise each day. With due respect, O ladies, the thrill is sight. As soon as you quench it, it goes away. In truth, the price one pays is never right.
Another moral. Provided one has common sense and has learned to grasp complex texts, the story bears evidence of taking place in the past tense. No longer are husbands terrible to see, no longer do they demand the untarnished key. Though he may be jealous and dissatisfied, a husband tries to do as he's obliged, and whatever color his beard may be, it's difficult to know who the master may be.